So here's something a little different. So if you know me, you know that I like to read on my channel, and I've never done something in this way before. So I am a fan of the artist Jordan Barlow, and there is a piece of writing he created in October of 2025 that I find to be just very, very beautiful. And I hope he doesn't have a problem with me reading this. Uh, I would just really like to read this for my YouTube channel. So this is Ode to an Apparition by Jordan Barlow. Each coming day, the great summer past in spires of light that crept their luminous path through the arthritic fingers of the elder doyens that loom above. Very few of these solar columns find completion in their quest to stain a mark of themselves in illuminated shimmers that dream their cyclic existence upon the forest floor. These doyens that I speak of carry obligating arms that cradle above with a canopy that threats hesitation but welcomes comfort. These are the ancients, the redwoods, the watchers with their twisted, brooding eyes. With shadows paling under the weight of time, the aura of the woods grows a shade darker. A hush engulfs the work of the earth. The wind carries an octave lower as the hours that teem with life find the borderlands of an ending day. Drifting towers stand above, outstretching their arms to confess their aging bones to the sky. Following the fingers from the sky towards the earth, we find the sagging yet mighty trunks of the elders. Stoic, monolithic, yet languishing to the wiles of a millennia. They engage in silent communing with one another. Mutterings and the tune of creaking sways that can only be heard under the breath of twilight's rapture that spins enchantments through the tangles of thickets, above the blanket of mosses and against the crude stature of weeds. A nocturnal siren that leads the crocus and oxalis to orient themselves to sleep and nyctinastic movement. They find themselves deep within the lost particles of the ancients before them. The debris that bowed its head in prayer to decay, promising the foundations to a flourishing cathedral that shall rise from their cadavers. This is where you will find me, meagerly peering up to the prophetic tirades that spew from the crags of the doyens, towards the anxiety-riddled limbs that harbor those night owls that intermingle their presence as the sentries that recline against the darkness while calling their strangeness into the night. I go unnoticed by most, for I am alone. There are none like me that I know of, perhaps at great distances. Yet there must be at great distances. Surely I was not born of prodigal circumstance. Am I not alive? I must have kin somewhere. Sadly, I shall never know. Rooted firm within this adopted family, I am but the bastard that sings corruption amid the purity of the forest. I am a ghost, an apparition, yet I glimmer brighter than the evening that bellows down through the dusky towers. The blood which flows through me is that of ore. Through silver and blood, they say, among the freak animal. But the riches of blood have found me famine. That which courses through my veins is that which has been expelled from my brethren through damp corridors of woodland arteries. Though I do not mind, the blood that flows through this cathedral is blood that beckons its tide in a cadence with my entirety, while weeping pallor across my flesh and into the night. For I am here, for I am the monk. I dwell silent between the mysteries, yet I bellow a dark song that only the veils can hear. I solemnly fold my mid-ribs and breathe through the corrosive blood passed down from the elders in a silent, nodding meditation. There is something tragic and unconstrained with this symbiotic parallel I carry with the elders. I am merely a familiar to these old ones who harbor a silent frame that speaks gently to my heart. There is love in the doyen's eyes, a dew, or perhaps a sap seeping from their crumbling lids, crying tears of appreciation that cleaves through his intermittent curses and lamentations against the wind. Below his eyes, a moss-bristled mustache that drapes like a tapestry atop a dark yawn that hides a crook of a smile upon its corners. A dark yawn that teems with whispering conspiracies nestled warmly in between these smiling lips. Harboring life that seemingly sleeps through the ebbing of the night. Time passes well, as my purpose shall quell. For anger I did ride to a prodigal bride. I tell myself this often. I must, for this cathedral becomes my tomb. For soon the stars will nest within my tired gaze. The echoes and memories of hues were bleeding their deceitful glaze in forms of broken shadows as the glow of dawn lifts its eyes between the thistle and the elders. The dense hollow now allows me a fleeting repose to all my suffering. That can as well be soothed here. I am no elder. I cannot age like them. I am no doyen. I cannot speak to the sky. My fate is sacrificial. I am the lamb, the kidney, the priest, and the nerve that calms the shiver of the beast they call the forest.